morning and happy Sunday, friends. So I'm making one more necklace from what I got from Pandahall today. So we're going to make a necklace that has these links, some beads connected to it, like a chain type necklace. And you're going to need, excuse me, some 24 gauge craft wire. You're going to need some kind of links, or you can make these links yourself, even using some small beads on an eye pin. Let me give you an example. So let's say you wanted to make your own link because you don't have those yet, and you want to get them from BB Craft, which don't worry, the links will be in the description for what I am using today. But let's say you wanted to make your own link for the time being. You could take something like a seed beads, or like I just happen to have these pre-night beads here. So this is just giving you an alternative. See if I can find the hole. So I'm just going to string these on. These were from another piece that I did earlier this week, and I just haven't put them away yet. But let's say you wanted just to make your own links, and you can do beaded links like this, and they're really, really nice. So let's say we wanted to make it about the same size. All right, so this is about the same size, and you know what? Maybe we'll even use a couple of these in here. So all you're gonna really need to do is just make this into a link. So you're going to put your beads on. You're going to bend the wire straight across like this. And now remember, this is just an alternative. So if you have some links like this, you can use those. Otherwise, you can mix and match, or you can, you know, create your own links. And I usually, I like to go with some smaller beads for this one, but you can definitely use chunkier. But then there you go. Now you have a beaded link that is like the same as one of these. So just like that. And these are 4mm faceted pre-night, but you can use any size that you want, and any shapes that you want. Okay, so you're going to need some drops that look like this. So they're going to be drilled through, and you can use flat, you can use rounded, whatever you like. I'm just using the flat ones because these 3 shell ones are the ones I have left from Pandahall, from the other stuff that I made. I have some brios, and I'm using these red agate brios. I'm not sure how many we'll use yet, but you can use whatever color you like. Or if you aren't comfortable with brios, you can do another size of drops, maybe something a little bit smaller. You're going to need some kind of gemstone or bead. I chose these like faceted rondelles because I thought they were really cool. And these are in a sunstone. So you're going to also need some eye pins, some little 3 or 4mm jump rings, and a clasp of your choice, which I just have a little lobster clasp here. So this is what we're going to do to make these. All right, so I'm just going to move everything off to the side here. And what I thought I would do is I kind of want this to be all 3 of these together. And I'm linking everything together with a jump ring because it'll just make it more flexible, and it'll make it so it doesn't get as tangled up or anything like that. You'll need your basic tools, so your cutters, your pliers, I'm using some of these nylon jaw pliers just to straighten out my eye pins. So just to straighten it out, and even to maybe work hard in my wire just a little bit. So I got all my tools here, and we are going to make this one just a regular old link. So we're going to bend that right across the top here. I use my finger to judge how big I want my piece to be. And so I'm just going to cut this, and I cut it right up against my finger. Have yourself a little trash tray beside you so that way you can dump your garbage in it. And then we're just going to roll this back. Okay, just like that. And if you have a one-step looper, you can use that too, but I am pretty quick with doing these, so I'm actually more comfortable with doing them by myself or by hand, so I'd rather not use that. So I'm just going to keep doing this. But if you're worried about consistency in the size of your loops, then maybe you'll want to do that. That's up to you. But I prefer the old-fashioned method. All right, and then we're going to grab one of these. Oh, you're also going to want like a scrap of chain, some kind of scrap of chain. So I just went through my gold scraps and I found that one and I thought that one will look good. So we'll use that. And then we're going to connect our piece here. And then I think we're going to go ahead and put one of these connectors on as well while we have the jump ring open. And then we can close that up. Okay, so it looks like this. This is what we have so far. All right, and this is going to come down around the side. All right, so I'm going to be using this chain in a couple different ways. I'm going to use it to hang off the bottom, and I'm also going to use it to connect the top. And I think we'll go ahead and use one of our little pre-night connectors here because that would be really cool. So let's go ahead and do that. We need our jump ring. And like I said, I am connecting everything with a jump ring. Just to allow it for more movement and so it doesn't get stuck on itself. Okay, like that. And then I think we'll put, thinking we'll do, no, I think we'll do one of these again. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is kind of representing one side. I am going to put another link up here. I want this to be a little bit on the longer side. So let's open up this jump ring. And add our link here. Again, you can do another beaded one if you choose. Okay, so there we go. And then I think next we're going to focus on the bottom of our little thing here. So you're going to want another jump ring, of course. And oh, I have one open here already. Look at that. And we're going to put our jump ring on here. We're going to put our chain on here, and I haven't cut it yet to the length I want because I'm not really sure. And then we're going to put another link on. And I'm still using the 3 to 4 millimeter size jump ring. You don't need a big one here. There we go. All right, so now this is going to be like our focal spot, right? So it's going to look like this. And we're going to have a little bit of a chain here. And my intention is to make some of these and just dangle them from the chain. And I think we'll do probably like 4 or 5. And I already made one. So I think what we'll do is we're going to cut this right about, see, these are like little 2 millimeter links. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll leave 8 links on there. And we'll just trim that off. And we'll put the rest of our chain scrap to the side. All right, just put it right over here. Let's go ahead and hang this one down here at the bottom. And again, we're using jump rings. We're using a lot of jump rings in this one because it's going to allow that extra length and that extra movement versus just wire wrapping right onto the chain itself. You absolutely can do that. You can wire wrap right onto the chain, but I'm just doing this because I just want that extra like length and movement. There we go. Okay, so let's work on some of these. I'm going to grab the ones that I think are the most interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean the ones that probably have more banding, a little more color shift. I do like to have some of different shades. Now, these are all like really, really pretty together. And I think that these will all look great. So this is where our wire comes in. So our 24 gauge craft wire. I don't even know what brand this is. Honestly, I've had it for so long and the top came off. I just know it's 24 gauge by how it feels. And I know it's craft wire because this is dead soft. So dead soft just means it's super, super pliable. There's nothing in there to harden it really. So now instead of doing like a regular briolette, I bring my wire out of the briolette by like about 3 inches. And then I bring it up and I match it with the other side. So we're just gonna match it up. We're gonna trim the long one off. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to take it like a bread twist tie and just twist our wire. You can twist it as tight or as loose as you want. This is just making the wire have some interest. It's going to make it look thicker. It's going to make your wrap look thicker. It just ends up being a really cool effect. So just twist it up like a twist tie on your bread. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to make our loop. Like so. You can leave it right on your round nose pliers and just wrap this around, and it's just going to give it a nice bulky wrap. All right, and then we can, once we're satisfied with our wrap, we can trim off our extra wire. We can squish down anything that we don't like, anything pokey, and set it aside. And then we'll do that with the rest of these. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. So this is my 4th day off in a row, and I'm happy to be going back to work tomorrow for the simple fact it's my 9 to 5. It helps me earn money to keep doing what I like to do and pay bills and eat. But I am really gonna miss being home. It was so nice being home these last 4 days, and I can totally see myself in the future one day being able to be home like this, and when I retire, and make this my retirement job, because I think it'll be perfect. And honestly, like you guys, I'm only like what, 12 years away from retirement. I can handle that. What's 12 years? I've already lived 51. 12 years seems like a drop in the bucket in comparison, does it not? All right, so let's go ahead and do our other wrap. And remember, we're just going to leave it right on the round nose pliers and just wrap this around. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be the most stellar wrap you've ever done. Matter of fact, when you double up the wire like this, it leaves a lot for forgiveness. So, which is really nice, because don't we all need just a little forgiveness? I think we all do. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and hang these two on, because I don't know if we will have room for all 5, but I kind of want to have all 5. So we're going to give it a shot. But we'll start putting these on as we do them. put it on our jump ring. You can pick up your chain, find a good spot for it. I really only want to skip one link, so we'll go right here. Okay, and there's that one. Let's do our next one. So this is also the example of, even if you just had like a few different shapes of beads, like if you're just starting out and you're just building your stash, you can use like the same beads in different projects and make them look totally different. This is way different from any of the other stuff that I've made with what I got from Pandahall. So yeah, you can just build on, and remember, just be super creative in what you want to do. And sometimes it takes being sometimes it takes redoing something a couple times just to get it exactly where you want it, and that's okay too. Okay, and let's do this one. All right, let's make this wire wrap loop. And there we go. Let's straighten our loop up a little bit if we want. There. All right, we can trim that off. And this is just making like a little cluster pendant, basically is what we're doing. And it looks like one more would be perfect. So now we just need like a little piece. Don't need much. Okay, put that aside, so it's not taking up any precious space. And this is the last red agate that we will need to use. Okay, let's go ahead and make our last loop. And there we go. Here's our last one. We're gonna hang that from our top loop of our chain. So now when you're wearing it, it's going to give you this like little cluster of gems. All right, so now we can start working on our other side. So this is where it's going to be a little bit different. These are much smaller of a link than these, right? So we're going to go ahead and do like double them up. So I'm just going to grab another eye pin. Boy, do I have some bendy eye pins, huh? Actually, I think with this one, we'll do the pre-night ones like we have here, because I do have some more of those sitting here. So I'll grab those real quick. There's one. 2. 3 and 4. There it goes. Okay, it's less that I have to put away now. All right, so here it is. And so that's going to match up right there. And then we can make our link. So there it is. Can open our jump ring up. Whoops. There it goes. And connect our 2 links. Okay, like so. Then we need this. Come on. And then we're going to need another one of our links here. Let's try this again. It slipped right out of my pliers. Just make sure your jump ring is closed all the way. All right, so now this is where we're going to start using our other gemstones here, our sunstone. So we're just going to grab some. And instead of doubling it, I think I'm just going to do them as single ones because I just think it'll look better. Excuse me. So here we are. And let's go ahead and make some links out of these. So with these though, I could use the same eye pin probably twice. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's straighten out our eye pin. Let's put our 1 sunstone on. We're going to turn this into a link. Let's cut it off right here. And then we can roll this back. And there's 1 link, okay? And then what I mean now is, see, this is kind of small, but I think we could still use it. So I'm just gonna go about 3/4 of the way down, or 1/3 of the way down, I should say, and bend it straight over. So that's gonna give me some space to make a loop. So there is, oh, it's not the greatest loop in the world, but you know what? It'll do. it'll do for demonstration purposes. So now we have like a really short little eye pin, right? So now we're going to take one of our beads, put it on, bend this side over. We might have to trim a little bit off, but we won't be short. If you're using a, like this is a rondelle, so I think this is like 5 by 8. So the short side is 5. So 5 millimeters. And then let's roll this one back. And there's our other link. So let's do that again. And then we'll start connecting them to make sure that I don't go too far. All right. Put this one on. Getting some questionable loops on this side, you guys. They're looking a little questionable. All right, let's do this one. They're organic. And if you've been here for a long time, you know that that's a joke. I like to say that when it doesn't look perfect. It's because it's organic. All right. It's supposed to be that way. It's organic. All right. And then let's roll this back. I like getting two rounds out of my eye pins. Or if I'm using a head pin that's like stronger, like the not the ball ones, but the regular ones with the flat head. Those are usually really much stronger. I like to try to get a head pin and an eye pin out of those. And it's just kind of like my little thing that I like to do just because I don't want to waste as much. All right, so we're going to use our jump rings just like before, and we're going to connect everything. You absolutely can just connect them all together, but like I said, they kind of get locked up on each other sometimes. And just having this extra little ring here in between your connectors really helps make it so they don't get like locked up on each other. All right, let's see how this measures up to our other ones. So it looks like probably 4, maybe 5. I pulled 5 out because I was thinking 5, but I just wasn't quite sure that maybe we wouldn't need the 5th one, but I think we will. Let's go ahead and open this. Okay. Yep, I think we will use the 5th one. Let me see if I have a smaller one though. This one's smaller, I think. Or actually, that one's much smaller. Let's do that one. All right, we need another eye pin. And then let's put this one on. I keep dropping my little connectors because of the way I'm holding my jump rings, because I'm being silly. There we go. Okay, so now we need some of our gold connectors. We're going to need 3 of those. So let me just grab 3 because we want it to match up. And look, this is actually almost perfect. Look at that. We might not even need the chain for the back, although I could make like a little extender out of it, which would be nice in case you want to wear it longer. Oh, there we go. One more. And there. All right, so let's see what we have so far. Oh yeah, this is going to be really pretty. Look at that. Almost elegant even. So I think that we're going to want to maybe we will want to use the chain up here. So I think that we will. And that way we can have this connected with chain and it'll still just be nice and dainty. And so I think that's what we're going to do. We're using very minimal amount of beads. So let's go ahead and try to think here. See how long this is, because I think what we'll do is we're going to take half of this to make the end of our necklace, and then cut that in half again. So this is going to be I'll do like a final measurement of the length of the necklace for you when we're done. But these are about 2 inches to 3 inches worth of chain. I'll grab my tape measure while I'm thinking about it. So yeah, about 2 inches, just a hair over. So now we need our clasp and our bigger jump ring. We're also going to need 2 of the smaller jump rings. Let's open the small one first. Put one part of our chain on. Hook it here. Nope, we need one more. Forgot we got to hook our lobster clasp on too. Let's open up this one. Let's put our lobster clasp on. Just like so. Itchy eyeball, 1 second, sorry guys. And then we will put this side on. this one on. It's a little bit of a bigger one. And then I think we will add just like a little extender. So what we're going to do, we're going to take part of this, about maybe an inch worth, just to give an extra inch in length, because sometimes it's all you need or want. It's just that little bit of extra length. I still have a lot of scrap left. We're going to use one of the smaller jump rings, and at the end of our little guy here, we're going to put a drop. So I'm going to grab my wire that I had earlier, and we're just going to do the same kind of thing. So let's cut off about 6 inches. Smooth it out nice and smooth so we can wrinkle it up. Put this on. Bring them both up together. Do our little twist. Let's do our wire wrap loop. And there we go. And then let's just trim this off. All right, so there's that. Let's open up our small jump ring. Put our drop on there, our chain, and close it up. And then we can hook this onto our other jump ring that's already hooked to our chain. And then let's close this up. All right, guys, so whether you use the extra inch or not, if you end up wearing your hair up, you'll also see a cute little gemmy just hanging there on the back of your back. So here's our necklace. Here's our pretty gold and red agate pendant. We decided to use some of the pre-night I had laying here. And then here's our links with all of our beaded links, all the way up to our chain and our little drop on the back of our necklace. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, we used very minimal amount of beads. If you have beads that you only have like a few of each one, this would be a great project to do that with. And remember, if you don't have these, you can order them. I will, like I said, I will put all the information for what I got at Pandahall. So it'll be that red agate, the shell, these sunstone, and of course these links that I got at Pandahall for you guys. And but other than that, dig through your stash. If you have little baby beads, this would also look really good with some check fire polish. If you have like just a small assortment of stuff, this would be a great necklace for you to make. All right, guys, I'm going to try it on for you. Okay, friends, here we go. So let's put this on. I already have one necklace on, but you know what? That's okay. So I'm going to hook it on the spot where it's not extended. Let me see if I can hide my other necklace for now. Okay, so there we go. And I think that looks really cute. It actually doesn't look bad with my other necklace. But yeah, this looks really, really pretty. It's just enough, you know, and then you have this beautiful little dangle. Let's make it a little bit longer. So I'll use the extender. Get it unhooked here. Which way am I going? There it is. Sorry, it takes me a second to get it together here, guys. And then I lose it. And then I lose it. All right. Okay, well, I'm having a struggle. So this is if it was on the longest. So it doesn't add a ton of more length, but it does add just a little bit more that it's not falling into my shirt. It's actually on the outside. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I really liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And just look in the description that's right below this video. You hit description, you hit more and more, and then you'll find all my notes. So here it is. I hope you guys like it. All right, I'll talk to you again real soon, guys. I'll see you later today, actually, I'm sure. So bye, everyone.